Hello, further to my previous videos, in this video I'm going to show the installation of the equipment needed to fit an air-to-water heat pump in a large new domestic property. Here you can see I've identified most of the main components. This is the back of the garage of the property. It's in this area that most of the components are going to be installed. I've already mounted the 25 litre buffer tank onto the wall. The cylinder that you can see on the left hand side, the green cylinder, is a temporary heat source that I've connected to the underfloor heating of the property. The actual heat source within this cylinder is a 3 kilowatt immersion heater. I've connected a flow and return to the temporary cylinder via the hot outlet and the secondary return tapping on the cylinder. Here you can see next to the buffer tank I'm just fitting the low loss header. For anybody watching, for your convenience, I've time-lapsed the majority of this video. Here I'm making up the male iron fittings that connect to or screw into the buffer tank and the low loss header. I apply PTFE to the threaded parts of the fitting. When all the male irons are in place, it's then time to connect everything via 28mm copper tube. As I explained in one of my previous videos, there will be no plastic pipe used on this installation. I stated before, pipe for pipe, copper tube delivers more volume than plastic pipe. If you haven't already, I wonder if you'd consider subscribing. It's free and it gives incentive to create more content. Thank you. Here I'm trying to determine the position of the dosing pot. I've decided to utilise a Fernox MagnaClean as the dosing pot for this system. So therefore this will not be a functioning filtration system for the heating. Now I'm making provision for and fitting the 2-port valves for the first floor central heating, the second floor central heating and the towel rails. These controls are all Honeywell 2-port valves and they will be used to control the various heating zones utilising volt-free switching. When the valves are fitted, it's just a matter of connecting the respective pipework to the correct valve. Here I'm fitting and connecting the expansion vessel for the central heating. The air source heat pump has already got an internal expansion vessel, but this is just a belt and braces just in case the volume of the water is greater than expected. Now it's time to disconnect and remove the temporary heat source. In one of my previous videos I explained how I had utilised a bucket as a feed and expansion tank. Once it's completely drained down, I set about disconnecting it from the underfloor heating and the electrical supply. This is me using a core bit to drill the holes that will accommodate the flow and return pipework to and from the air source heat pump. This should be a relatively quick and smooth process, but the problem is the fabric of the building is so wet, instead of producing dust when the drill is going around, it's producing mud, which is actually jamming the core bit. Now the temporary heat source is out of the way, I can extend the waste pipe for the water softener and create a base for the new cylinder. There's a further 4 inches of concrete to go on this floor, so it's down to me to build up the base of the cylinder so that it's not within the thickness of the concrete. Once I've constructed the cylinder base, which incidentally is a paving slab on some brickwork, I can fit the cylinder and the inline volumizer. As you can see, as I'm fitting more and more equipment, the space seems to be getting smaller and smaller. Once the concrete floor's down, I've also got to fit the water softener. Obviously, all of this pipework has got to be insulated. So here it is, complete. Everything connected. Even the heat pump outside is connected, and here it is, it's all running, up and running. My next video will be of the installation of the actual heat pump itself. If you've managed to reach the end of this video, well done, and I thank you for your subscription.